Hey everyone, we're going to be starting our Insta-Plump Lift and Glow updated protocol. So for today, we're going to start with a basic cleanse, and we have a couple options because our model has a little bit more, a little bit of rosacea going on, a little redness in the skin. We are going to be using our lovely Dr. Estee Moisture Cleansing Gel. A little pro tip: we're going to take a little water in a bowl here, and I'm going to add a couple pumps of cleanser. And we're gonna take a nice brush and we're gonna start to whip, whip, whip and create all these decadent micro bubbles. And so we're gonna put it on just like we would our whipping balm mask. It's gonna feel really great, and it's gonna have a kind of an extra cleansing impact as well, where it's gonna help to really lift and remove any debris or makeup that's left on the skin as well. Look at those micro bubbles, awesome. Ingredients in this cleanser happen to be 6 ceramides and 6 probiotics, as well as water from the deep sea. So filled with a lot of minerals, it's going to have a lot of calming, anti-inflammatory effect on the skin as well. Again, great for all skin types, but in particular for clients that have more sensitized skin or any impairment in the barrier. Look at those bubbles, amazing bubbles. So you can see just from those 2 pumps, you get quite a bit of bubble action. I'm gonna go ahead and just wet my hands a little bit, and I'm gonna do a lovely little facial massage here to work all that in. So it starts as a clear gel, and it just moves to this really beautiful, decadent lather. No scent. Very calming and soothing. Okay, after we've done a thorough cleanse, we're gonna remove with a warm towel. For somebody with a lot of redness in the skin, you're gonna make sure that towel is a little bit on the cooler side, or you can go ahead and use lukewarm water with 4x4s. Another pro tip: flip the towel over and press 3 times across. Feels really great on the décolleté area. As with many of our advanced treatments, we love to incorporate cold plasma, and you can use the Tonisher device, or you can go ahead and use the Dr. Playton, which is our go-to. And cold plasma is amazing because it has the ability to create microchannels in the skin to increase product penetration by 24% over the next 12 hours. It does additional benefits as well. It provides tightening and lifting of the skin. It helps to oxygenate melanin in the skin if somebody had hyperpigmentation, but at the bare minimum, we're going to increase the product penetration, which is what we want in all of our advanced treatments. So I'm going to start off with a level 4 for her, just her skin is a little bit more sensitized, and I'm going to be using the large tip. We have 3 different sizes as far as heads go. We have a small head that can be used really well for the upper lip, around the eye area. And then we have a medium-sized tip that is really great for the face in general. But to go through a larger area, cover a larger area, or on the body, I like to use the larger tip. And so we are going to push start here, and then I'm going to start on the neck. And to do a full 10 minutes, 5 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other side, we're going to do about 5 passes, and then work our way up. And by the time I get to the forehead, we should be at that 5-minute mark to start the other side of the face. You will hear a buzzing, and that means our cold plasma is active. You want to hold the skin taut. If you have a little bit of slip initially, it could be just because the skin is still drying from the cleanse. So once the skin is dry and you're holding taut, you should glide, the wand will glide pretty easily. And you're holding it pretty lightly above the skin as well. I mean, it's slightly touching, but it's not, you're not going to push really hard. When we're working around the eye area, we're going to stretch the skin down over the orbital bone, and we're going to work this way. And then working around the eyebrow, if you want to work on any crepiness below the eyebrow, you pull up the eyebrow a little bit and you go over the eyebrow, so where it's about in the middle of the head, and you do some light passes there. And that really helps to tighten the skin below the eyebrow, upper eyelid. And then if you have any 11 lines or any extra wrinkles in the forehead area, or if you're working on melasma on the cheek, you can definitely do what I call the little swirling effect and just do little swirls like so. There you go. So that is 10 minutes of our Dr. Playton Cold Plasma. Again, if you have the tonisher, you can go ahead and use that as well. Do a light peel. And for today's demo, we're going to be using our Trandme ABP 20 RG peel, which is 20% total acids. And what makes this particular peel very unique, in addition to having BHA, AHA, and PHA, we're using gluconolactone, glycolic acid, and a little salicylic, is that it has PDRN in here, which is our great polynucleotide. It's got SICA, which is our Centellia asiatica extract. It's got peptides, etibenone, and a guaiac azulene, which comes from guaiac wood, and it is a form of azulene that's really, really calming and soothing to the skin. So a very great peel option for sensitive skin types. So we're going to go ahead and we can put a little in our bowl here. I'm going to pump about, here we go, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pumps. And it's a very cost-effective product as well. We got 4 ounces in here at 120 mLs. So I'm going to now apply with a little bit of brush and a little product here to the full face and neck. And it's just going to be left on the skin for about 2 minutes or so, just like our Pro Micro Peel. If you wanted to use your HOP Pro Micro Peel, you definitely can go ahead and do that. This is just an option that I'm choosing with the PDRN and for more sensitive skin types. And another thing I like about this particular product is that you can see that it has a gel-like little stickier consistency, which is from the PDRN. And what I love about that is that it's not going to be really drippy and going down the client's face. So I love having peels where I have a little bit more control. And the yellow color comes from the etibenone in the product, so it's a natural color. If you feel like you need a little more, you can just add 1 more pump. Everybody's face size is a little bit different, so whatever you need, I would start with 6, but you might need a little bit more. Just make sure full face, neck is covered. How does that feel on your face? Do you feel a little tingle anywhere?
A little bit, but not bad.
We're showing you guys a bunch of different options for shorter treatments, and there's a variety of reasons to have shorter treatments available to you. One of the main reasons is it's more cost effective for clients. There are times where clients can't afford the full length treatments that might be $250, $300. So these treatments can easily be in the135, 150 range. And also for clients that if they don't have a lot of time. So if a client can't come in for a full 1 hour, 1 hour and 15-minute treatment, these 30-minute treatments are going to give them a lot of bang for their buck. So they're going to come in, they're going to get really targeted treatments focusing on plumping, lifting, tightening, brightening, and all in a 30-minute session. So we have several different sessions or protocols available to you on our website, the Esty Sisters website. And so you can go ahead and look. We have them categorized. We have a 1, 2, 3 glow, the Insta-Plump Lift and Glow. We have a separate Trandme glow treatment that utilizes this ABP peel. So lots of different options for you, and we'll be coming out with more as we go along. Another one we have that we just added is the Age in Reverse, and we have it available in 2 different options using our exosomes, the Exotran and the Exopeel. So check those out if you're looking for some fabulous 30-minute treatments. Okay, so I'm going to remove the forehead. Then you want to give extra attention to the nose area and upper lip area, because that tends to maintain a little of the product and irritation a little longer. Do you feel any areas that still feel a little spicy or?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so you always want to check in with the client and see if they notice any areas that still feel a little spicy or active. And if they do, then you just go ahead and do a little bit extra water removal there just to neutralize those areas. Okay, so the next part of our treatment here is we are going to incorporate our Time Master Pro with a couple of our ampules. So available to us at AO Medical, we have some outstanding ampules, and to be used either cocktailing them together or they can be used as standalone. In the case of this treatment for Insta-Plump Lift and Glow, we're gonna go ahead and use our Paleo Growth Factor ampule that's packed with our PLLA growth factors and many other great anti-aging ingredients. Of course, our hyaluronic acid, our niacinamide. What's really awesome about this particular product is it can be microneedled in, it can be nanoed. You can use it with your Time Master Pro, you can put it on straight. It's fabulous ampule that we use and incorporate into our thinning hair and hair loss treatments. And it can be also sold to clients for use home care. Because it has no preservatives in it, once this ampule is opened, it needs to be refrigerated for up to 7 days after. You can also cocktail it with the Dr. Booster, which is our adipose tissue PDRN ampule, and that's to add extra fat back into the skin when people have had fat loss. And you can also incorporate and cocktail in our Exotran Exosome ampule and kind of cocktail all three together if you'd like. So very versatile. For our purposes of our treatment today, we're going to go ahead and just use the the HOP Paleo Growth Factor. So I'm going to pop this open. You can see that. And then we're going to remove the top like so. And we're going to pull this off. And you can apply with a brush. I like to just apply with my hands actually, but totally up to you, whatever works and make you feel more comfortable with. So I'm going to just add a little bit here to my hand. And then I like to just start working in a circular motion and just get it applied all over the face. And then I'm also going to add a bit of our new volumizing gel. It's been updated to have extra slip with the Time Master Pro. It is from the HOP line as well, that contains polylactic acid and growth factors and a lot of azulene. So you're gonna see this intense purple color, and that's from the azulene. And we're gonna be using that because when you're working with the Time Master Pro, we have our ultrasound, which is 90,000 oscillations per second. We have our LED and our electromuscle stimulation. So we do need to use a water-based conductor in there, and the gel gives you just a little bit extra boost, more than the Paleo Growth Factor here. You just want a little bit more to be the conductor for the microcurrent and the ultrasound. So I always start with applying this because we want to push this in. And you can go ahead and use a half an ampule right now, maybe a little bit more as we go. And then at the very end of the treatment, I'm going to be adding more of this product as well. And remember, we've already created those microchannels with the cold plasma with Dr. Playtime. So we're using our ultrasound to stimulate metabolism, to increase blood flow, to push in the product. And we have that increased product penetration because of the cold plasma as well. So lots of ways to actually push in product. So that's why you don't necessarily have to do nano or microneedling, especially on somebody that has a little bit more sensitive skin or rosacea tendencies, where you probably don't want to go and use a strong nano or microneedling. This is just an extra option. Now we are going to apply, this is what our beautiful, I'm going to show you guys. It used to be called the Promoter Collagen Gel. It's now called the Promoter Volumizing Gel. Look at that amazing purple color. It's all natural, comes from the azulene, which is from chamomile, and super, super amazing. We made it so that it can extend the full 5 minutes. You can go on one side of the face with the Time Master Pro without adding additional conductor gel. So I'm gonna go ahead, and look how thick this is. Super, super thick. So we're gonna go ahead and apply to just the half side of the face to start. Love, love, love this gel. And another little tip for you guys is that a lot of people think of this volumizing gel as something that we would just use in the treatment room. Not so. This will make an additional product, anti-aging product, hydrating product for clients wanting extra hydration, clients with redness and sensitive skin. It'll be a great, or even oily skin, a great home care anti-aging product for clients as well, and very affordable because the size is a 4-ounce tube. So I'm just letting you guys know it's not just for the Time Master Pro use. If you are working with other modalities, like just microcurrent, for example, or galvanic, you can also use the volumizing gel with those modalities as well. So very versatile. Okay, so there we go. We're gonna start with our Time Master Pro. Our Time Master Pro, 2 buttons. Top button, we're gonna start, push it in to start. And we have red LED, green and blue. You can also just work with one particular color, or you can go with no LED if you'd like. And then on level 1, we have no EMS, so it's just ultrasound. On the bottom level, that's gonna actually start everything, but what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna do 1 level of EMS, because that's what's gonna really trigger the lifting of the face. So the face is the only place on the body where we actually have muscle attached to the skin, or skin attached to muscle. So when you do stimulate the muscle, it will create a lifting effect if you are working with electromuscle stimulation or microcurrent. So I'm now going to push the lower button to start, and we're going to start with some circular motion. And if the client can tolerate it, you can definitely go up a level. The neck, the cheeks, the chin area tend not to be as sensitive. The forehead area definitely tends to be a little bit more sensitive, or if you're going over the mouth. If the mouth has any implants or a lot of fillings, it might feel a little bit more sensitive with the electromuscle stimulation and the ultrasound, and then you can just back it down a level if you need to. How does that feel for you?
Good.
Good, okay. Do you want me to try to go up 1 level?
You can.
Okay, we're gonna try to go up a level. Most clients can tolerate that first or second level of the EMS. I would say that unless they have really, really tough skin, or they've been working with the Time Master Pro for a while, you probably won't get to level 4 the first time. Okay, so I do start to do just some little swirly actions to kind of activate the LED here, and just to stimulate the metabolism and the blood flow. And then after I've done about a minute or so, I work my way back down and I start the sculpting, which really creates that beautiful lift. If you were working in a dark room, you may want to put on, does that feel okay? Tolerable on the forehead? Okay. Yep. If you're working in a dark room and you don't have lights on, or even your mag lamp on, the lights could be a little intense for the client, so you could put little eye goggles on or patches. I typically just turn my mag light on and put it off on the side, so it makes the intensity of the light less intense for the clients. Okay, so now I'm gonna work and I'm gonna start my sculpting process. So the sculpt and lift, sculpt and lift. This will create a really nice lift for the client. We're gonna also really sculpt a lot under the cheekbone as well. You can work over the lip area too. Just remember that the lips are gonna be a little bit more sensitive, and especially if a client has some dental implants or fillers there, or fillings. So you're gonna definitely go a little bit lower level EMS there. Do you have any dental implants or fillings?
I do not.
Okay. So we are going to just add a little bit of that collagen gel over her lips. I'm gonna back it down a level, and I'm gonna just do a little swirling on the lips so you can stimulate some really nice collagen and plumping. And so then you would just do your little swirling effect on the lips here. And as you're watching me here, if you see the little purple little tint on the skin, again, that is the azulene, and that is natural color. So that's why you're seeing a little bit of a purpleness to the skin. It's not her skin, it's the azulene from the volumizing gel. At the 5-minute mark, the Time Master Pro will turn off automatically, and then you will add the volumizing gel to the other side of the face, and then you will start the process all over again. So it's a full 10 minutes on the face. This entire treatment is about 30 minutes, so it does go pretty quickly. And you have a couple other options. If you want to extend it and make it a more expensive or a longer treatment, you can definitely go ahead and add other modalities in here. And I'm going to show you at the end how we're going to actually incorporate the Raysure, which is our cool laser, just to calm any pink in the skin. But you can also add some additional microcurrent. You could do some radio frequency on the front end. You can actually also add at the end the 24 karat gold sheet mask by HOP for some extra volumizing impact. And then you can also, last but not least, if you want to really, really boost it up, you could even add some Dr. Spicure, which is our spicule treatment, to the very end. So again, you can definitely customize all these treatments to make them whatever you want them to be. But we're starting off with a 30-minute treatment, targeted treatment, which is what we're looking for, but you can definitely make it into a 45-minute treatment, an hour treatment, whatever you want, depending on what your client's needs are. Definitely make sure that you definitely increase the price just to incorporate the additional modalities and products that you're incorporating into the treatment. So I will say here, hands down, hats off to the new formula, because this definitely holds beautifully. We still have even extra slip if I wanted to go longer, so that's really amazing. So it just cuts down on the time that you need for performing the treatment. You don't have to worry about stopping and adding additional product. So at the top of the forehead, we also want to give a really nice brow lift. So you're definitely going to start at the eyebrow and you're going to work your way up, and you're going to do several of these little micro strokes. And the client will get a really great brow lift here. So at the end of our Time Master Pro treatment, you can see that most of this is absorbed really well into the skin. So you're just going to gently massage. You can see that most of this is absorbed really well into the skin. So you're just going to gently massage. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of the Paleo Growth Factor. Now at this point, you could easily stop the treatment and then just finish up with the Promoter Repair, or it's now called actually the Volume Boost Moisturizer, and your All Mineral SPF from HOP. However, we're also going to show you how you would incorporate the 24 karat gold mask if you want to do that as well. So you have lots of options. If I was finishing the treatment now, I would add more of the Paleo Growth Factor Ampule to the skin and then put the moisturizer, finish with the sunscreen. Because we're going to go ahead and add our 24 karat gold volumizing sheet mask, this has a decadent serum that is just so luxurious. It's great. It has our gold in it. It has our snow mushroom in here for brightening. It has some retinaldehyde. It's safe for sensitive skin as well. But because we are going to be putting this on, we will not need additional product added on from the Paleo Growth Factor. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this is like, because this is like just the most amazing mask. So I'm going to first squeeze some of this out just to show you what the product itself looks like. And then I'm going to pull the mask out to show you what makes this different, because it's actually a biocellulose mask that you can use galvanic, you can use microcurrent on top, you can use ultrasound on top. So I'm just going to show you, because a lot of the products out there on the market, these sheet masks, are really, really watery, and this actually is more of a lovely, luxurious serum, and you can see that it has the beautiful gold flakes in it. So we're going to go ahead and pull out the mask. And then the other big takeaway from this is to remember that there's about an ounce of serum in here in this mask. So you're going to send the packet home with the client. I have my clients use the product in there morning and night for the rest of the week. That's how much product is left in here. Also, these make fabulous masks for clients that travel. I love to take one with, and when I'm traveling abroad, I keep it in the little mini fridge, and I use the serum day and night because my skin gets super dehydrated, and I really want some of that additional hydration and plumping and nourishment back in when I'm not at home. So we're gonna go ahead and add this, like so. And then we're gonna show you how you can use modalities on here. We're going to actually be using our galvanic from the Tonisher, which again, you can use your Time Master Pro again just for a minute or so with the ultrasound just on level 1, because you really don't need to do more than 10 minutes of the Time Master Pro at one time. So if you wanted just to increase the product penetration by just using 1 minute of the ultrasound, you can. And remember that you can only use biocellulose mask with the Time Master Pro with ultrasound for it to work. Okay, so you can see how beautiful that looks. You also want to make sure that you bring the product down on the neck and all the serum is going to be left on the face. So when we remove this mask, we're still keeping it on. We're going to let the client know not to wash their face until the next day because all of this goodness is still working. Remember that when we use our cold plasma in the beginning, it's increasing product penetration by 24% over the next 12 hours. Okay, so you can use your tonic device with a galvanic head, and then you can go ahead and you just want to make sure that you're grounding the device with holding your fingers on each side of the bars, just like with the erasure. And then you can go ahead and you can start just increasing product penetration with the galvanic head. Again, you can use your Time Master Pro. I'm going to show you what that looks like just on level 1. And I'm going to cycle through to where we just have the red LED, which is probably not going to show through too much because of the opaqueness of the mask. But at least with the ultrasound here, we can get a little additional product penetration. So I would just do this for maximum of a minute, just to increase product penetration. You're going to be gliding around the mask here. I've done microcurrent on top of this mask. I've done our ultrasound here from the Time Master Pro, galvanic from our tonisher. We're going to remove the mask after about 10 minutes. And again, it's not as important to have it on super long. It's totally flexible with what you want to do because we're keeping all this great product on the skin. So it's not like we're removing it. So you can either save the mask and put it back and give it in the client's pack to take home, or you can throw this away and just make sure the rest of the product is sent home with the client to keep in the fridge for the next week. And then at the very end, you can go ahead and add any type of moisturizer that you want, or you could just even add a little bit more of the serum. For practical purposes here, we're going to go ahead and add some of the Volume Boost Moisturizer, which contains our snail mucin, which is really great for sensitive skin. And it has our PLLA and our growth factors, so I'm going to add a little bit of that here. And again, this used to be called the Promoter Repair Cell Moisturizer, and now it is called the Volume Boost Moisturizer. And we're going to finish up with the Promoter Repair Eye Lip Cream on the lips. Plump a little. I always like to put it on the back of my hand. Use my pinky. That assists with plumping those lips out. And then we're going to finish with a little bit of our All Mineral SPF 50 with our PLLA and growth factors and our black fermented royal jelly. Add a little bit here. And it may just take a little extra if you happen to have the skin really hydrated, which we do with a lot of product because we're leaving all that on. It just takes an extra 30 seconds to a minute to absorb into the skin well. Results, you can do these treatments even every couple weeks, and you can use them in between lengthier treatments as well. So this would be an awesome treatment to kind of sandwich in between a monthly needle-free filler facial or a monthly Hevatox skin tightening facial or a V-line facial. So lots of options. And it just is a great standalone treatment for even a bride, any other, particular special engagement. This is a wonderful anti-aging treatment. There we go. That is our new updated version of the Insta-Plump Lift and Glow treatment. For more information, reach out to Rachel and myself on Instagram at _STESTI_sisters, or reach us on Gmail at stsisters.aomedusa@gmail.com. We look forward to connecting with you, and stay tuned for more fabulous facial treatments and protocols like this.